This is Bosnia and Herzegovina, a nation that is home to perhaps the darkest geopolitical backstory in all of Europe, which is saying a lot. For many, the all too recent memories of conflict represent the high cost of independence from the Socialist Federation of Yugoslavia, a large state in the Western Balkans that no longer exists. The end of the conflict in 1995 triggered the beginning of a colossal economic recovery effort, which not only sought to physically rebuild Bosnia and Herzegovina, but also sought to restructure the economy away from centralised planning and towards free markets. Almost 30 years on, and the nation has transitioned from socialism to capitalism with mixed success. Now an upper middle income economy, Bosnia and Herzegovina is experiencing robust growth in tourism, energy production and metal manufacturing, whilst maintaining low levels of public debt and high capital reserves within its banks. What's more, the country has had a clear goal to work towards, having been formally granted candidate status for the European Union in 2022. This is potentially a win-win situation, with Bosnia and Herzegovina benefiting from increased confidence, market access and participation in supply chains, whilst the EU manages geopolitical risk by befriending a nation with a significant pro-Russia cohort in its population. But regardless of its relationship with the EU, Bosnia and Herzegovina has a number of deeply rooted challenges which have, if anything, worsened since becoming an independent state following the war. Ineffective governance, chronic unemployment and a steadily declining population are adding tension to a nation divided by ethnic lines who, it is felt by many, have still not reconciled its difficult history. So, how did the newly independent nation bounce back from war and genocide? Why has the economic development of Bosnia and Herzegovina stagnated? And finally, what opportunities and challenges lie ahead for the nation? After we've done all of that, we can put Bosnia and Herzegovina on the Economics Explained leaderboard. Economics is a complex subject because of its interdisciplinary nature that combines mathematics, statistics, geography, history, psychology, and sociology. What is not complex is how easy it is for hackers online to find your data and exploit it for personal gain. That's why we've partnered up with Incogni for this video. All you need to do is grant them the right to work for you, and they'll contact data brokers and use the law to request the removal of your data. When I set up my Incogni, they found 89 places on the internet where nefarious actors could pay to get my email, phone number, and even my home address. Within an hour though, Incogni had removed 26 of the places where people could buy my data and were busy chasing down more of them. You don't need to do anything yourself. Incogni contacts and removes you from lists online so you can get fewer spam emails, robocalls, or even people trying to take out loans in your name. Take your personal data back with Incogni and use code ECONOMICS at the link below to get 60% off an annual plan. For better or more likely worse, it's impossible to understand the modern economy of Bosnia and Herzegovina without at least a cursory understanding of its all too recent history. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, a wave of nationalist sentiment rose across Yugoslavia, which consisted of 6 federations with their own cultures and identities. After Slovenia and Croatia broke away from Yugoslavia, Bosnia and Herzegovina held an independence referendum in 1992. The outcome was in favour of independence, which was largely welcomed by Bosniaks and Bosnian Croats, but rejected by Yugoslavia and Bosnian Serbs, who made up 33% of the population. Conflict broke out shortly after as the different ethnic factions fought for territory in an escalating struggle that eventually led to NATO bombing and UN peacekeeper troop deployment. In total, almost 100,000 people died, 2.2 million people were displaced, and GDP declined by 84%. After international efforts for a peaceful solution, the war ended in 1995 with the signing of the Dayton Agreement in Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, USA. And it's this agreement which founded the modern politics and economic powers of Bosnia and Herzegovina to this day. Obviously, that's the incredibly oversimplified summary of an endlessly complex issue, but the takeaway was that this was a bad set of circumstances to begin the process of nation building, especially since a lot of these core issues never truly went away. Founded on a compromise and power sharing, the Dayton Agreement effectively split the state into 2 geographically separate entities. The Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina in the central, south and west of the state, which is controlled by the Bosniaks and the Bosnian Croats, and the Republic Srpska in the north and the east of the state controlled by the Bosnian Serbs. Because of the Dayton Agreement, power in Bosnia and Herzegovina is highly decentralised, with both of these entities in complete control of their own tax collection, public spending, development policies and welfare programs. The only economic powers that lie at a state level are monetary policy, which is managed by the central bank, foreign trade policy, and macroeconomic coordination.